Hi teammates, we'll dive into some mysteries. So Rangers win chess and chest. See the Wrangler Xbox. The etch was aimed to be Mercy. You get 357 single reduction KV all the way down to 746 LCH Kabbalah. Add those up, 8837. Now remember, the 8837 to Minister Paul equals war. He keeps seeing that. And then the 37 is also the reverse of 73, which is the Matt Damon Ocean's 13. You got any wine back there? And I'll have any wine you want, but not the 73 is what he says in that scene. And it's very off kilter. He just says it. It's like Matt Damon says it, not the character Linus Caldwell. So 830. So 8837 divided by 0.21, the point of the Phoenix, you get 42080.95. 4208 Strong's equals Mazaloth. Signs of Zodiac. Aramaic bad eggs. That's literal. And then I've got, so I wanted to go over that again. Something told me just to go ahead and do that again. And then I've got all this here looking like Mexico. And then September 26th night, 2019, phrase. This is all taken from channels that I was looking at on YouTube. Brock Begley, who's Paul Begley's son, cut off Paul Begley's words with music covers. That happened last night on September 26th. And then Perry Stone, it was bonkers, if I can say that. That's what he says. He goes, it was bonkers the other night, and if I can say that, he was talking about the revival or something going on with his church. And then, now you go home and I do what I do, says Black Woman. That was on Grey's Anatomy last night. My mom was watching that as I was looking at these, and I overheard this. So you can see how I kind of do the ciphers, but or the phrases, but I got all these here: 1502, 1282, 3, all the way to 686. Divide by 0.98. Okay, 0.98. Whenever I type that in, that means the most doom I can come up with. It means pit for infinity, okay, is what that 0.9 is. It means we never get past the locus is what that means. And that's for infinity. So 0.98. And I got 7201, okay. 7201, which 72 is Psalm 72, which is the Solomon symbolism. And you get Ra, Glede, okay, which is Deuteronomy 14:13. And that seems to be a very esoteric type of thing, because people don't know what the Glede means. People think it's a misprint of the KJV. But that's 7201 and 13 and the Glede, okay, talking about unclean and clean birds. The Glede would be unclean to eat. But from that, I ended up with Rene Lalique, okay, 6 April 1860 birth, and his full name is Rene Jules Lalique, so I thought Jules was like Big Daddy symbolism a little bit. So you can see how all this is turning into the Facebook symbolism, the Book of Remembrance. And not the Facebook, what we think of as the Facebook. I'm talking about your face gets remembered in the Book of Remembrance. So Francois Coty is related to this guy, and not by blood, but they had dealings together. And very interesting, Francois Coty was tied to Napoleon's family tree, and he came up with all the fragrances and perfumes. So whenever you look at the one that had the bow, you know, Revelation 1, or Revelation 6:1, excuse me, you can kind of see the Abo symbolism there, ABO, which is Abo Tiflis, who is a Muslim who converted to Christianity and sold fragrances, mixed chemicals and came up with perfumes. And that's that. So it's tied to the bow with that. because it's Abo is Abo's name, and he keeps coming up in the symbolism. And then I got these guys too, and it's tied to Napoleon a little bit. So very interesting. And that's Abo Tiflis if you want to look him up. We've gone over him before, but you can look him up. And then so that's something to be aware of. 788 vids as of 4:25 Pacific, September 27, 2019. This would be the 789. So I got that 789 symbolism. And I'll show you this too. I might not be making any more vids. I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. I know I always say that, so I'm going to stop saying that. So, but we've got this here. I'll show you this. Okay, did you see that? That's the only part I'm going to show of this. This is Don't Call Me Angel for the Charlie's Angels new movie. And what they've done is they took out Bill Murray, who Bill Murray was known for the Groundhog Day and always being stuck in the Matrix sort of deal is what that is. But he does make it out in the end, you know, with finding true love and all that. But the point of the Groundhog Day is to show the Matrix, how everything is like a computer program and we're stuck. So they replace him with Patrick Stewart. Now, Patrick Stewart is known for all the English takeover symbolism. And so it's kind of like, they're kind of saying like, well, we're gonna end things like, but we're gonna have our people in it to. It's like the English Empire is saying we're gonna, even if things end, we're gonna have our people in a takeover position. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they've got Patrick Stewart there, because he was in Star Trek and he's in that commercial with Mark Wahlberg where he goes through the mirror and all that stuff. So. It's kind of like they want their people even in the positions of the people that were in it before that represent the Matrix. You know, he's the new, the 50-50 is the new Matrix. Like you never make it past the Revelation 9 symbolism. That's what I'm saying. So, but the whole movie is about an end of the world scenario. So I'm saying even if they have the King Arthur stuff that steps in, you know, like Charlie Hunnam and all that, then they want their people in there to take over for that as well, is what I'm saying. So, and that's why they've got me in their back pocket, because they say, look at this guy who's the real English heir, the Bedingfield family, and he's an actual it figure and has done all this, and, you know, let's bring him along with our stuff is what they're trying to say. So, but it's not like, it doesn't benefit me at all, and it doesn't benefit you or my sheep or anyone else or Grok's sheep or anyone. It just makes us stuck is what it is. So they even with me in my whole Sawzall Blade incident, they tried to screw over Ben as well, Gitaoist. They tried to make him like get the full whack, you know, like they say in Heat, with the command branch gets the full whack. They tried to make him not have what the branch is supposed to get of the places to walk with the two witnesses. They tried to take that from him. Okay, with going through the dungeon in the cold pool. So, you know, that's why there was a blessing there at the end, and they tried to screw him over too. So we have to be very careful in these end times and all work together and pray to Jesus that we make it out, basically. So, you know, the ones that have done the 50-50, hopefully they get their stars restored whenever Jesus sets everything right, when we're in heaven, you know, and the earth gets remade, then hopefully he'll redistribute everything that's been stolen, you know, because I don't think it's everyone's fault that all this is happening. I mean, this is basically out of our hands even, you know. I'm just a watchman. People take my things and twist it and everything, but, you know, there's not a whole lot that we can do about this is what I'm saying. Like, you know, just try to stay on your path. I mean, I know someone that's got the mark on their face, and they say they stopped working for a company because of the bad things that they were doing, you know. So, and that was many years ago, and now they have a job and everything, and a lot of kids and stuff, and everything's going fine. But he's counted as someone that took the mark, you know, probably because with his new job he didn't look at what they were doing, you know. He didn't endure with the process of the truth seeking, is what it is. So they can get you in any way, shape, or form, is what, like, the English are not playing around, is what I'm saying, you know. And that's that BBC symbolism, which is the black cock and all that, and, you know. So right here, I'll show this one more time. Here's Miley Cyrus, and then here comes Lana Del Rey. There's the samurai sword, there's the King Arthur sword, and she's got the hangers. See? Now, this Lana Del Rey represents me, basically, because this girl named Ray said she was all about that she could run faster than me because she swam on OMM whenever my dad took over the team from the former head coach, who was like weird with the girls sort of thing on the team. And basically he ended up getting pushed out, and then my dad took over the team. So we had this Catholic girl, Ray, that swam with us, and she and my dad we would go on runs, and I was never a very good runner, you know. I would just kind of make it, like, I can make it through averagely, you know, like just to get past the tests or whatever. But I went to her house one time with my friend Reed, who's known as Capo, and her dad said, "Is this the guy that you ran faster than," or whatever? And I was kind of embarrassed, but I said, "Yeah, I'm not a good runner." And she might have been embarrassed, but but her name was Ray, and Del is because at West Point, the first time I did the PT test, I think I just made or just missed the running minimum that you had to do. So I would have to retake it again to you know, to keep passing the PT test. But that was always like, but it means that you didn't make it, sort of thing. In the running symbolism, you didn't make it, is what that means. And, you know, the running symbolism, it means getting past the Legion guys. Okay, so her name is an abomination because it means that I never got past the Legion, you know, the spirit and the smoke and all that. And it's like a mockery of that with the Del Rey, Lana Del Rey. So basically, what they're saying is they're recycling me through that position of getting past those guys, and she's got the hangers because she's got to keep haunting everyone. She's stuck in this Laodicea enforcer position of keep clothing everyone, be the covering cherub, you know, be the Ezekiel 28 symbolism, but not as bad as him. But like, I believe Paul Walker was the Ezekiel 28, but it means that you're stuck in that position of doing that like forever. And like, she's trying to make it to the samurai sword, but you know, they're showing, but they, you know, even with them, they're showing that time is now, is basically what it is, because she sees the samurai sword, and even these English guys, these who run this company that's Ariana Grande doing all this stuff, they're even saying that she's getting closer to the samurai sword. Okay, so she sees the helicopters and they go from there. But I wanted to show this as well. We'll go to this.
So we mentioned TI.
Excuse me. Okay, so she's saying TI8. That's that infinity of the pit symbolism, which I just said. And notice she's got her green on to fend off the locusts of Revelation 9.
We all made a huge story out of the narrative that of all the teams we had seen come back as TI champs, this felt like the first real chance of seeing a repeat winner 2 years in a row. Did you feel the pressure of that narrative, or did you use that to fuel you?
Certainly there was like some sort of pressure, but I don't think let it really get to us. It's more like the TI itself is full of pressure, more than anything else.
And it's constantly changing. It's nothing.
So what that player just said is the TI itself is full of pressure. That's that smoke getting released from the pit. Okay, that's what always happens with this stuff. Whenever an event happens, people get gathered and they're martyrs. Okay, whenever an attack happens, like the one, well, just take 9/11, the most basic one, and the one that everyone knows about. Those people became martyrs that died, and they rest a little season until everyone joins them. And what the English are doing is they're trying to make all these little events happen until everyone is a martyr. But what the French try to do is get everyone to go in a big event and then have the King Arthur and all that afterwards, okay, as the Brahma bull type symbolism and the beast out of the earth and all that. Get a will I am situation going where they do like an actual mark of the beast instead of all this like taking out the eyes like they're doing now with it, which is like a pseudo mark of the beast. So she's got on her green, and he says the pressure is the pit.
The kind of game where you win TI, and now a year later, 2 years later, you know for sure you're still the best. Like you have to really actively work at it because it's constantly.
Yeah, Dota is a kind of game it's impossible to just stay on the top for a long time without like putting your soul into it. And even if you put your soul into it, doesn't matter. Like someone just overtakes you anyway.
And how is
Did you hear that? He said, even if you put your soul into this game and give up everything you have, just like Bruco has, you know, Bruco doesn't have a job. Joust 92 could be in the institutional, like a Eastern or Western state, and he's there, you know, indefinitely until the rapture. And then all the like Star Seeds and all these guys on YouTube that are trying to make it, you know, balance and everything. Even if you give up your soul and everything for it, it'll still overtake you, is what he says. So that was a big deal that he said that on here. And this was August 21st, 2019.
Kuro as a leader? How would you describe him as a leader when that kind of thing happens, trying to keep everybody focused on rolling with the punches?